So the entire US economy growth can be tracked down to 7 companies and their AI.
The United States is about to break and nobody is willing to talk about it.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on.
The cost of living crisis in America is real, and I completely understand why so many people feel inclined.
Hey, U.S. government here. So here's the situation. So our population is dipping below the replacement level, and as the U.S. government, we can't have that. So your responsibility now is to have children for us.
We can't afford to move out of their childhood bedrooms. And this is not theoretical. This is now the Wall Street Journal reporting on this. And it's being echoed in my comments like this one. I love being 26 years old, having a full-time job and a master's degree.
What's not clocking to me is how are we going to have all these resources for people? But, if you make too much, you can't have help.
Many of us here in the U.S. are waking up this morning to our investments and stocks plummeting.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living on the average American salary?
America feels worse for millions of people.
2 months, it's going to become completely unaffordable to live in the United States. And I'm not talking about luxury lifestyle. I'm talking about basic middle-class needs.
Just on here, wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
What's not clocking to me is how are we going to have all these resources for people? But, if you make too much, you can't have help. I work 3 fucking jobs just to live. And I can't get help with insurance. And now I'm starting to get medical debt. And it's affecting my credit score. And I've been working so hard to keep all my things. I pay everything on time. I pay more than I'm supposed to. I do everything fucking right. And I get nothing. I get another bill after another bill. I get no help with my health. Nothing. Like, I don't qualify for any of this shit because I make too much money. But I have to make that much money and more. I need more. And I can't. None of this makes fucking sense. None of it. And I'm so fucking over all of it. It's not fair.
I got a letter recently that my property taxes are going to go up $600 a year from now on. I got a letter that my homeowner's insurance is going up $60 a month. My propane company sent me a letter that my propane is going to double this year. They just came and filled up my tank. It was $1,000. That's crazy. Also, as a entrepreneur and business owner, I get my health insurance through the marketplace. So you have the Affordable Care Act. I pay $45 a month. They just informed me that if this bill passes and I lose my tax credit, I'm going to go from $45 a month to $660 a month for health insurance. I need to buy a new car and I can't because the cars have gotten more expensive and the interest rates have gotten so much more expensive. I can't find a reliable car that has the same monthly payment of $450 a month that I've been paying now for a new car. Not necessarily new, but new to me. Groceries are insane, and it feels like every day I get a new email from another subscription that I have, whether it's Netflix, my website subscription, everything's increasing in price. And I sit pretty much every day stressed about money, and yet I know that there are so many people in this country that are way worse off than me, and they're not making it, y'all. They're not making it. What hurts me the most is that there are so many women, especially, that just cannot afford to leave abusive homes and they have to stay in it because of this economy. So are we great again, America? Like, is this what you voted for? Meanwhile, they all sit there in DC not feeling any of these pressures, not doing anything about it, not giving a shit about the American people. I have been extremely poor and I have been extremely wealthy. And I know from firsthand experience that the wealthy people don't notice it. And most people are pretty self-absorbed and aren't thinking about other people anyway. So we got to talk about this more. We got to raise hell. We have to let DC know that this is not acceptable. Regardless of your party, we have got to help each other.
We are diving into the realities of life around the US here. Today, we're exploring how the cost of living is impacting us all, especially in the US.
The cost of living crisis in America is real, and I completely understand why so many people feel inclined to create video content on a platform like TikTok, expressing their disdain for it. Everyone is hurting. Even if you're a high income earner, you're not alone. And it really is no wonder, just given how prices have gone up on just about everything from food to gas in this country. The average cost of a home is $420,000. Most people don't have the ability to afford that, especially with crippling debt, like in the form of student loans, and a myriad of different bills that people just can't seem to get out from underneath of. So it begs the question, what do we do? Where do we go from here? We can't even buy cheap food at McDonald's for $1 anymore. They completely nixed the dollar menu. And what dystopian future are we living in which we have to pay more than $1 for fake food at McDonald's that doesn't even taste any good? So it begs the question, what do we do? And I just can't help but feel like there really is no easy solution. Unfortunately, there are external factors constricting the economy that are out of our control. But what we can do, what we should feel inclined to do, is come together now more than ever before. Reason being is because if we're going to survive, if we're going to ensure our quality of life, we need each other now more than ever. We need some sense of solidarity, and that's something that's been lacking in this country for what seems like the longest time, just given the stark racial, cultural, and socioeconomic divides. And that could be attributed as a result of us having existed in this system that seeks to pit us against each other as competitors, as opposed to being counterparts. We don't even see each other as fellow countrymen and women anymore. And I think it's a real shame, because nowadays you're going to need people and they're going to need you. So it's up to us. Either we stand united or fall divided.
So the entire US economy growth can be tracked down to 7 companies and their AI growth specifically. At least 40% of economic growth this year is attributed to these companies alone, and 80% of stock gains this year came from AI companies. But people are justifying these levels of investment because of the promises that the CEOs make that there will be a return on that investment. So for a company like OpenAI, their value is based on the expectation that they're going to figure out how to make a profit out of it. And they haven't. And so generating this increased human dependency that can be mined, because it's not subject to HIPAA. Is that correct, Dr. King?
Right, it's not subject to HIPAA.
It's not subject to HIPAA. So people's deepest fears, secrets, emotional content, relationships can all be mined for this empty promise that we're getting from these companies to turn a profit. And the reason I bring all of this up is because the exposure of this industry and this investment, I fear, has reached broad levels, potentially, of the American economy. When we're talking about 40% of stock growth in the United States being attributed to these companies in the AI sector alone, and that sector has not turned a profit, we're talking about a massive economic bubble. And when we've seen, depending on the exposure of that bubble, we could see 2008-style threats to economic stability. And that pressure is reflected on the extreme lengths that these companies are going to allow unethical human interactions with these chatbots. I say this because I want to say also on the record that should this bubble pop, and I say this for my colleagues here, should this bubble pop, My colleague from Massachusetts mentioned the level of AI lobbying that occurs here in Congress. Should this bubble pop, we should not be entertaining a bailout. We should not entertain a bailout of these corporations as healthcare is being denied to everyday Americans, as SNAP and food assistance is being denied to everyday Americans, precipitating some of the very mental crises that people are turning to AI chatbots to try to resolve in themselves.
Okay, I'm making this video again because my first one was taken down for violations. I have no idea why. So we have another leading economist joining the growing chorus of leading economists that are screaming, like literally, that the United States is heading towards a major debt crisis. And he, along with others, is predicting this is going to happen in 2026. And he's talking about all the red flags that everybody is ignoring, way beyond increased prices and joblessness and no new job growth and so forth. He says it's all tied to the record-breaking price of gold right now. It's like at $4,000 an ounce. That central banks right now are accumulating so much gold because central banks are worried about two things: the value of the US dollar plummeting, they can see it happening, as well as the geopolitical tensions that are growing all since Donald Trump took office. And for some reason, central banks accumulate gold to hedge their bets because of what they see is happening. He says that Wall Street is behaving the same way they did before the 2008 subprime mortgage collapse, when so many Americans lost so much. Some lost everything. Back in 2008, Wall Street and those who owned stocks were exuberant. They were celebrating how many millionaires. They were all becoming millionaires with the manipulated stock markets. And it's happening again now. And back then they ignored all the red flags and did not adjust accordingly. And he sees that happening right now the same. He said that this economic collapse that he and others are predicting is going to feel, the 2008 subprime mortgage collapse is going to feel like Sunday school compared to what's going to happen next. Now, I know a lot of things are looking bad. Prices are skyrocketing. Over 1 million people have lost their jobs since Trump took office. There's no real new job growth and so forth. But I really hope him taking a look at the price of gold and how much central banks are accumulating is just something he's just worried about, but that it doesn't actually happen. I mean, let's hope this doesn't happen. So there you go.
All right, I am here in my little town of about 2,000 people here in Alaska. We're going to go into a quick convenience store, and you guys can tell me if you think the prices are expensive or not here. So let's take a look.
As we look at these rising costs, it's clear that everyday life in the US is becoming more of a struggle. It's not just about prices going up, but how it impacts everyone's quality of life.
Today I'm going to show you how expensive drugstore products are in the US. Let's go. Toothpaste for $6.29. Deodorant $10.79. By the way, I'm trying to find the cheapest option from each product. The shower gel is $6.59. And if you want the $10 shower gel, you have to ask somebody to open it up for you. Hairspray for $7.99. This is the cheapest shampoo I could find for $4.99. Period pads for $8.29, but if you buy one, you can get one for 50% off. 44 diapers for $35.79. Absolutely insane. In Germany, the same amount of diapers were under $5. 2 good toothbrushes for $8.49, and that's before taxes. Band-aids for $6.99. Hair dye for $11.99. Sunscreen for $15.49. Actually crazy because you need sunscreen every day here. Look at all this medicine. You don't even have to go to the pharmacy to get sleep medication. And it's not locked up. They lock out the toothpaste, but not this. Listics for $6.99. Makeup remover for $7.79. Laundry detergent for $17.99. $14.99 if you have the CVS card. Cheapest dish soap is $4.19. And look at this tiny bottle. In Germany, you would get a huge bottle for $1.89. Dishwasher tablets for $16.99. 9 rolls of toilet paper for $23.99. Really cannot believe why toilet paper is so expensive.
One paper towel is $4.79.
This is absolutely insane.
That's not right.
Let me know in the comments, do you think it's cheap or expensive? One last thing, every person in front of us had so many coupons because the basic products are just so expensive and a lot of people have a hard time to afford them. And it's very sad.
Student had a meltdown over crazy rent prices.
No, because you, America, for making me pay, or for making me work 4 jobs while I'm in college in rural Tennessee and I can barely pay my own rent, and I'm taking 19 credit hours on top of those 4 jobs, and I still can't graduate on time, and I still can't graduate early, even though I'm taking 21 credit hours next semester. It's not fair. It's not fair anymore. It's never been fair, not in my lifetime. And will it ever be fair? No, because I'm a woman in America. I just want to live in peace, America. And I will one day. Probably something else.
Half of all renters in the US spend more than 30% of their income on rent. Rising rent prices are pushing record number of Americans towards the threat of homelessness, so the system definitely doesn't work and something needs to be changed.
Another reason why we should be working together. Pay attention. Get you somebody, come together, work together as one, or work together as a collective, as the group. Because this is reality. This is real. America. Pay attention.
The United States is about to break and nobody is willing to talk about it. If we as a country don't make a change here, we are cooked. The media doesn't give it the attention it deserves. Politicians won't say it out loud, but our country, it's drowning in over $36 trillion in debt. And here's the terrifying part. We're now spending more than $1 trillion a year just to pay the interest. Not the debt itself, just the interest. It takes my breath away whenever I talk about it. Imagine you maxed out your credit card that you have, then took out more just to cover your monthly payments. That's what we're doing as a government and as a country. And when the bill comes due, it's you who's going to pay the price. Higher taxes, slash services, or worse, God forbid, a financial collapse that would make 2008 look like a hiccup. If we don't change course here, folks, if we don't stop printing money, overspending, and kicking this can down the road, your future, our future, won't be stable jobs and affordable homes. It'll be layoffs, rent that you can't afford, and retirement accounts that don't mean anything. Heck, some of you are saying right now, I'm already feeling the effects. They'll try to distract you with these headlines and drama, but this is the real threat we are facing, and nobody's coming to save us. I'm curious, what do you think about this in the comment section below? For more unapologetic and trustworthy news, hit that follow button. I appreciate you.
So many Americans already believe that we are in a recession. They believe that the recession started a long time ago. They believe that the economy is currently crashing, and they are not listening to what you hear on the news. They are going online and they are sharing personal stories and showing the hardships right now that they are witnessing and what they're going through.
Is it just me or are we in a global recession? I mean, this is not normal. It is 9:40 in the morning, Thursday, September 18th, and this is how our shop is looking. Now, thank God I have a few inspections to do, so I'm going to stay busy today. I have like 14 government vehicles I have to do. But you can't tell me this isn't a government recession. Like, what the hell is going on here? I mean, as you can see, we're so busy. We have so many cars in here right now. 9:30 in the morning. We should be packed. We should at least have oil changes. We should have something. And before the people start commenting that, well, you know, shop charge too much money. Our shop doesn't. We actually charge a lot less than we should to make good margins and actually make money. So we actually undercharge a whole lot at this shop, and we still don't have business. We are probably the cheapest shop in our area compared to all the other shops. Our labor is only $135. Other shops are like $150, $160, $180. Dealerships are like $200. And we do decent work. We do good work on cars. We never have complaints. We never have people come back. We never have returns. This is how our shop looks. This has got to be the beginning of the middle of a recession and probably the beginning of a depression. I've been here 6 months. I have not seen it this bad. And it's been like this for the last probably week and a half, 2 weeks. So what's gives? What's going on? Why is nobody coming in? If you guys are doing work on your own vehicles, respect. I respect that. I work on my own vehicle. You save a lot of money that way, but the people who can't afford to work on their own vehicles and have to bring it to a shop, they're not even here. I think we're cooked. Is it just me or are we in a global recession? I mean,
I don't care what anyone says, we are 1,000,000% in a recession due to the fact that Facebook Marketplace has been popping off lately. Like, people are selling their treasures that they've had in their basement or their garage because they need money.
How's everybody surviving? I get paid bi-weekly and we are a family of 4. We have 2 kids. How are y'all surviving? Because I'm not. I got paid today and it's gone. Goes toward the mortgage, cell phone bill, gas and electric, garbage, everything gone. Between insurance, car insurance between my husband and I, everything gone. And then I have to go to the grocery store. This isn't even factoring in groceries for a family of fucking 4. So imagine how it's like every month. It's like, do we go do a big load haul of groceries or do we pay our mortgage? Like I can't do both. And my husband works 50 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. We can't do both. We can't do both. So like, how are you doing it? The people that don't have kids are barely surviving. I am not surviving. And I get paid bi-weekly. And people are like, oh, getting paid bi-weekly is so much better because then when you get paid more. No, it doesn't matter because all my bills get taken out at the same every month. I've tried to change it till the end of the month. It still doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you have your bills taken out. Your money is gone. There's nothing you can do. You just have to ride on this floating rock and spend, $150 on 4 products at the grocery store. I can't. I literally cannot. I don't know how people do it. And unless you're a rich elite, so I hope everybody on this floating rock screams like I do, and we can all scream together because I just don't collectively know how I can continue on with a recession. I've lived through one recession. I physically can't do it now. And you can call me dramatic. I don't really give. I'm going to crash out. I cannot survive like this. I can't.
So there's a pretty good financial indicator out there called the used car market. And the used car market is a good financial indicator of how your country is doing because it means that people have liquid capital. If you have liquid capital, you can buy a used car cash because most used car sales are going to be cash purchases. So if used cars are selling well, probably doing pretty good. People have liquid capital. They're able to buy whatever they want. They don't feel stressed about the future. They're buying and selling things at leisure. If the used car market is bad, then people do not have liquid capital. They do not feel secure about the future, and they're hoarding whatever liquid capital that they do have. And right now, the used car market is tanked. It's tanked. No one is buying or selling anything, especially the cash purchases. So, not a very good indicator for us as a country or our economy. Either people have no money to spend or they are incredibly insecure about their future. And either way is not good. So we're going to see how this plays out in the coming months. But I don't see that trend ending anytime soon.
Dying in America is expensive.
So I have terminal cancer, and because of financial situations, I have decided to donate my body to science. I have 3 kids. My oldest is 15, and he understands that it's a money issue, but my youngest 2 do not. And that was a hard conversation to have with them about why they won't have a grave or a funeral when I pass. But funerals cost thousands of dollars. When you donate your body to the local college here, it's like $100 transport fee that I can prepay in advance that covers the transport of my body from wherever I pass to the facility. They then use your body for medical research or surgeons learning or whatever. Then they cremate you for free and send your ashes back to a loved one. For me, that's my ex-husband, and we do not have a good co-parenting relationship. So I have to just entrust with the fact that he will give my ashes to our children. And they'll keep my body for 3 to 5 years using it before they send it to him. Is it a good thing that I'm doing to help, students learn? Yeah. But do I wish my kids would have at least a gravestone? Also, yes.